Hello everyone. As we in the previous tutorial we have configured the NetBeans using the Maven project to run our Spring MVC application. In this tutorial we are going to design this Hello World application which will simply generate the message Hello World in the output. And while designing this application, we will design all these components which are shown here. Like we will configure the dispatcher servlet, we will configure the handler mapping, we will configure or create the controllers, we will create the view resolver, we will create the view, and finally this view will be sent to the client. So by configuring all these things, you will have a feel how to design this Spring MVC application. So we start by designing or by configuring the dispatcher servlet, and this dispatcher servlet is to be configured in the file that is web.xml file. You can get web.xml file under the main and web application, then web.inf, and here is the web XML file. So you have to configure the dispatcher servlet in this particular file. So first we have to configure the servlet here, since our dispatcher servlet is a servlet, and here we have to provide one name for our servlet, and that is the servlet name here. And here we give it a name as dispatcher. You can use any of the name, and then we have to provide the class, that is the servlet class here. Now servlet class which we are using is org.spring framework .web .servlet .dispatcher servlet. So this is the class of the dispatcher servlet. You can also view this class by going to Java resources, then libraries, then the Maven dependencies, and by this Spring MVC, then org.springframework.web.servlet, and here is the dispatcher servlet. You can also copy the qualified name. If you paste here, the name of the dispatcher servlet is get printed, or you can also copy the whole qualified name started from the package. So remove class from here, and I can also copy this name from here, this like copy, and I can also paste so it here, so I can get rid of any of the typo error. So here's the server class. Then we have to provide some init parameters. Since we will be needing one configuration file, one more configuration file in which we will configure our Spring container. Spring container in the sense in which we will configure our view resolvers and all that, in which we will configure our controllers also. So we need one more configuration file. So we have to mention the name of the configuration file which we are going to use, along with the location where we are planning to place our that configuration file. So that configuration file should be under web.inf, and the name will be here in our case this spring-servlet.jsp. so we will create one more file, .xml. We will create one more file, spring servlet.xml, in which we will place our all the configurations which are required by the IOC container. So now we will pass one more parameter, load on startup, so that we must be sure that this configuration file should be available when we start our container. Load on startup, that is load on startup, and then we have to provide our servlet mapping. Servlet mapping means what type of request should be forwarded to this dispatcher servlet, and we want all type of requests need to be forwarded to this dispatcher servlet. Pattern: all the requests should be forwarded to this dispatcher servlet. Servlet mapping, under servlet mapping there should be servlet name here, and this goes here, and we have to delete this. Servlet mapping, then the servlet name, and then this name, servlet mapping load on startup, and we have to close this servlet here. Now this servlet is closed. Now what we have done, we have first configured our dispatcher servlet, and we also pass to this dispatcher servlet that the Spring configurations will be provided to you with the help of this file, spring-servlet.xml. So when this application starts, so load both of these files, matlab first load the dispatcher servlet and then load the configurations which are specified in this particular file, and you are mapped to accept all type of request, all type of domain request. So we are done by configuring the dispatcher servlet. Now the next part is designing of these two components, that is the controller and the handler mapping. Now for designing the controller, we have to create one class, and we name this class as Hello World Controller. Hello World Controller. It's a good convention to add the word controller along with the name of the controller class, so that your software will be more readable. You can identify which are the controllers in your complete project. So I am going to put this controller under the package org.ksellman.controller. So this package will get created. Now here is my controller. First I will use one stereotype notation, controller, so that this controller can be loaded into the IOC container. This is a stereotype annotation, controller. Now in this controller I will design two handler methods. First method will be public. It is public because it can be invoked externally by the dispatcher servlet. It is going to return the string. The string will be the logical view name, and the logical view name is always in the form of string. Now here I design the method say hello. Now this method will take one model map as a parameter. Now what is this model map? As we have previously discussed, this handler is responsible of returning two things to the dispatcher servlet. First is the model, and second is the logical view name. What is the model? Model is the data which is required by the view. Model, so we can add the data into the model by using one string as a key, like here the string is message, and the key is again a string which I am using here, welcome from the Spring MVC. So now this model is type of a collection, that is of type map, which works in the key value pair. Means we have to mention the key in the form of strings only, and any type of data that we can bind with this particular key, or any value can be provided to this particular key. Any value means the string can be provided, or any user defined object can also be provided here. Suppose we are retrieving the list of all the employees, and the list of employees has been fetched from the database and put into a collection like array list or linked list. So that particular collection object we can also mention here, and there is no limitation of putting the data in the model attribute. With the help of the add attribute, by changing the keys, we can put as much as data as per required of as per the requirement of our application. Like I can change the key, and I can put the second message, or I can put the second object here. And finally we have to return the logical name of the view. In this case I put the logical name of the view as welcome. Now, as we have seen here in the tutorial, that the logical name of the view which is returned by the mapping method, or which is returned by the handler, should be gone through the view resolver. And in the case of the view resolver, we are having two properties. One is prefix and the suffix. This prefix property will be added before the logical view name, and this suffix will be added after the logical view name. So only the logical view name has been returned here, and this logical view name will go through the view resolver, and this view resolver will append this prefix to this logical view name, and will also append this suffix to this. So this is appended before the welcome, and this is appended after the welcome. So from the logical view name we will get the complete or the absolute path of our this view or our JSP page. Now here I will design one more handler method, and the name of the method will be say hello again, and this will display the message welcome again from Spring MVC, and the logical view name will be same. But now I have to provide the different handlers or the different handler mapping to these handlers. Since by providing the different handler mappings, the dispatcher servlet can uniquely identify the handler. Like I will use the annotation handler mapping, and in the value part I will map this handler to this, and under the method part I provide here request method, here request method dot get. Now I have to import this annotation, value is equal to method is equal to get. Yes, now I have to import this annotation, request method imported, and this annotation import. So this is the handler mapping task. All the requests containing the slash in the end means all the by default domain requests will be forwarded to this particular handler, and we have to provide one more handler or one more handler mapping to this handler, and I put here hello again. So both of these handler methods had different handler mapping. This is mapped to this, and this is mapped to this. So if we compare our component so far from this, then we have configured the dispatcher servlet, we have defined the handler mappings, we have defined the two handler mappings here, one this and one this, and secondly we have designed the controller. This is our controller. Okay, now what we have to design next? I have to design the view resolver next. So where to put the view resolver? As we have discussed by designing this web.xml, there will be one more configuration file. The name of the file will be Spring Servlet, in which the configuration or the beans which are required by the IOC container will be placed, and this view resolver is also implemented as a bean. Where it is implemented as a bean? In the file that is the Spring Servlet.xml. So we have to create one more file, that is the Spring Servlet.xml in the webinf directory. So I will create one XML file, XML file, then next Spring Servlet.xml, and then finish. Now in this file there is a need for two namespaces, and those namespaces are, first is the context and second is the MVC namespaces. Now we can get these namespaces on the jar file downloads which we have downloaded from the Spring frameworks. As you have downloaded the complete Spring framework which includes all the required jars. If you go on to this, there are the 3 subfolders. Go to docs, go to Spring framework reference, then to HTML. In the last you will get one file, that is the XSD configuration file. If you open this file and you search for context, because one of the namespace which is required is context and second namespace is MVC. So if you search for context and do next, now here the context schema. Now this is the schema which is to be in black, which is to be copied and pasted in this configuration file. So first search for the context, and second search for the MVC, search for the context, search for the MVC, and copy the schema and paste in this particular file. For your convenience, I will place this schema in the comment portion of this video along with all the Maven dependencies which are required. Okay, now as we have mentioned earlier, this view is implemented in the form of the bean, and we have also discussed this here. Now this, we have to create one bean, and the bean class will be the internal resource view resolver. This will be the view resolver which we have to configure. Like we have configured the dispatcher servlet, now we are configuring the internal resource view resolver, which is having two properties. One property name is prefix and the another property name is suffix. Okay, now we come to this part and we will create one bean for the view resolver. Now here I mention the name bean class is equal to. Now again I can find this in this Spring framework web and the servlet. In the servlet there is one view in beans. In this servlet, this is one view, and there we get this internal resource view resolver. If we copy the qualified name here and paste this name here, we get the complete class name. This is our view resolver, org.springframework.web.servlet.view.internal view resolver. Now this is having two properties. One is for prefix and second is for suffix. So property name is equal to prefix, and what will be the value? Value will be the path which is to be added before the logical name of the view. Webinf, I am planning to put all the views in the views folder which we will create later. Now this is the one property, prefix. I will design one more property, and this property will be known as suffix, and then dot JSP. Okay, now as we have done here. Now when the controller returns the logical view name, this logical view name will be handed over to the dispatcher. Now that logical view name will be passed by the dispatcher servlet to the view resolver. Now here is our view resolver. Now this view resolver will take the logical name, and by using prefix and suffix it will add the prefix before the name of the logical name of the view and the suffix after the logical name of the view, so that we can get the complete or absolute path for this particular view. Okay, now we are done by creating this component. We can see here we have configured dispatcher servlet, we have provided the handler mappings within the method of the controller, we have designed the controller, we have designed the view resolver. Now finally we have to design the view, because the model and the logical view name which is returned by the controller is passed to the dispatcher servlet. Then the dispatcher servlet takes the help of the view resolver to provide the dispatcher servlet the complete path or the complete name of the view. View resolver has passed the dispatcher servlet the complete name of the view. Now dispatcher servlet is having the model and the view. Now this will be passed to the model will be passed to the view, and that particular view whose name was resolved by the view resolver will be displayed to the client. So here we have to add one more line in this configuration file, and that is context. We have to provide one more configuration context, that is the component scan. Here org dot GraceElement dot controller. Now what is the need of this? The need of this is, when we have created the controller, we have used the annotation component. This controller should be changed into the bean, and that bean should be loaded into the IOC container. Now there are two options: either we should create here one bean for the controller, or we marked here the annotation controller and instruct the Spring Framework to scan the packages org.GraceElement.controller for the components. Now what the Spring Framework will do, it will scan these packages, all the classes in these packages, and search for the annotation controller above the class declaration. Now here is the annotation controller above the class declaration, so our framework will automatically create the bean for this controller. And secondly, we have to use one more annotation, that is MVC annotation driven. Now what is the use of this? The use of this is that we are configuring our classes with the help of the annotations. So if you find any annotation component, please change that particular annotated class into a bean. So the bean will be created by the Spring container automatically at the runtime. Okay, now one final part, we have to create the view. Now for creating the view, as we can see here, under the WebINF there is one folder, views. So we will create one new folder, and the name of the folder will be views. Okay, and what is the logical name which was returned by the controller? The logical name was welcome. So in this view we will create one new JSP file and name this JSP file as welcome.jsp. okay, now in this JSP file we will first make one heading tag, hello from Spring Framework, and then in the H3 we will access this data from the model which is sent by the controller. To access this data, we will use this $sign and then this message. Now this message, the value of this key will be displayed here on the web browser. Like in this case, this message is having the value welcome from Spring MVC. Now we are done. We have designed the handler mapping, controller, view resolver, and finally we have designed the view. All the components are configured and are ready to run. So we run our project, run on server, and the expected output is that this welcome is returned by this handler, and this will be resolved to this welcome.jsp, and the contents of the welcome.jsp will be displayed on the browser. Now here we go, hello from Spring Framework, which was written here, and the message. This message is this welcome from Spring MVC, welcome from Spring MVC. Now what had happened is the handler has done two things. It returns the logical view name welcome. So this welcome.jsp has been called because this name is resolved by the view resolver, and secondly the model is passed to the view. This model is handed over to the dispatcher servlet from the controller, and the dispatcher servlet handed over this model to the view. So this is the key message, and what is the value? Welcome from Spring MVC, and we are using the key, so its value will be printed. Its value is welcome from Spring MVC. So now welcome from Spring MVC has been printed. So this is one handler, this is simple handler. So this handler has been executed. Now if we want to execute this handler, then copy this hello again, and we copy this hello again, press enter. Now see, this second handler got executed. Welcome again from Spring MVC, welcome again from Spring MVC. So these was the complete configuration of all the components which are used in the Spring Framework, and generally in all the application these are the only components which are used. We can extend these components by adding the service layer, by adding the DOS layers, but apart from these components, what are the important points which need to be discussed? Like if we are creating the form, then the parameters of the form should be collected into the controller, and some validations, how to perform the validations within the Spring MVC framework. So this all we will cover in the next tutorial. Okay, bye for now, good day.